Many parents are making a severe mistake without even realizing it. The worst part is the problem can seriously impact the health and well-being of your kids. But I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to help you. And today I'm going to share with you the single most common parenting mistake and what you can do to fix it. The biggest risk to children in two-parent families is when the couples neglect their own relationship health. My name is Laura Silverstein, and I'm a certified couples therapist, but I started my career specializing in family therapy. And I very quickly found out that the kids were fine. It was the parents who were looking exhausted and like they needed like a vacation from the world. So you might be wondering, why are we talking about relationship satisfaction instead of me giving you parenting techniques? And the reason is because kids do what they see, not what they hear. The children are watching. They see what's happening, even if you think you're hiding it really well. I'm talking about your kids noticing how their parents are starting to treat each other. Because parents are so busy taking care of the needs of their children and family that they start to neglect their own needs. I'm not even talking about neglecting your partner, I'm talking about neglecting yourself. Going to the gym, taking a shower, okay? Neglecting self-care is a short road to resentment and blame toward our partner for not filling in the gap. Because the partners are the people that promised that they were going to be there for us through thick and thin, and we need them right now. But that blame and that resentment, or the second cousin to resentment, which is irritability, those things start to be expressed both directly or indirectly. In the rest of this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to survive the most challenging season of your life and come out on the other side even stronger, happier than when you started this journey in the first place. But before we get into the details of how to solve this problem, I want to just review what you already know. Basically, there's 3 seasons in the parenting journey. You've got pre-kids, you've got young kids, and then you've got adolescence and onward. And bonus points if you can guess the riskiest season for relationship satisfaction. Ding, ding, ding. You get it right. You get the question right if you guessed season number 2. Let's listen to what former First Lady of the U.S. has to say about phase number 2.
No, there are some broken things that happen even in the best of marriages. People think I'm being catty by saying this. It's like there were 10 years when I couldn't stand my husband.
You do say that. You say 10 years.
And guess when it happened? When those kids were little.
There is a predictable dip in relationship satisfaction when the kids are young. Let me show it to you on a graph. So you've got couples meeting each other and they decide whether or not they like each other in the beginning. And if they do, they want to spend more time together, and then they fall in love and things get better and better and better. So you can see on this graph, it starts to go up. At that point in a relationship, that's when people can't take their hands off each other. Their expenses are reduced. Maybe they're living together instead of each in their own living facility. Maybe things are going better at work. They're making a little more money. A commitment ceremony, and they're confidently professing their undying love for each other, right? So they're saying for richer, for poorer, in sickness and health. And so here on this journey, you see it's going up and up and up, and they are taking off together on the quintessential hero's journey. Except we're going to call it hero's journey, Heroes apostrophe instead of apostrophe S. So if you are a literary scholar, you know that heroes take on a quest for a deeper purpose after this original phase. And in this case, the call to adventure is child rearing. So when couples are doing pretty well, they decide, okay, we're going to have kids. Our life is a little too boring, so we're going to grow our family. So it's an exciting and wonderful time, and even though it's incredibly hard, couples often feel closer during this initial phase, but it's not a smooth line. So the highs are high and the lows are low. The baby was up all night, and at 4 a.m., you hear the baby crying and your partner is sound asleep, not even stirring. So you've got The high is equally high though, because you have the little baby smiling for the first time, and the two of you as parents are so proud of these little humans that you brought into the world. So it's not a smooth crescendo, but the trajectory of the relationship curve continues to go up until it starts to go down. And that's when you hit the inevitable dip in the relationship. And during this phase in the hero's journey, things get really, really hard. And this is where the hero feels like quitting. And this dip is statistically where most divorce happens, between 7 and 14 years. So the goal is to survive the dip, not to quit. And quitting can look two ways. It can be getting a divorce and having lots of intense conflict, or it can be quiet quitting, which is roommate syndrome. That's when both people are still kind of white knuckling it, going through the motions, but they're neglecting their romantic primary relationship. So let's listen to Tina Fey and Steve Carell, and they're playing Claire and Phil Foster. And the only thing that you need to know, they are parents of young kids, and they are trying to have a pleasant night out on a date night.
Do you ever think about leaving me?
No.
Really? You never fantasize about leaving me for another man?
Never. No, God, if anything, I fantasize sometimes about being alone.
What does that mean?
I don't know, just there are times when I've just thought about, on my worst day, just, leaving our house and just going someplace, like checking into a hotel and just being in a quiet room by myself, just sitting in a quiet, air-conditioned room, sitting down, eating my lunch with no one touching me, drinking a Diet Sprite.
That's the overwhelm. That is the sheer overwhelm of, I just need to breathe. But look how he reacts.
By myself.
That sounds awful.
Look, I just want to have one day that doesn't depend on how everybody else's day goes. It's not like I have some gross sex fantasy or something.
That I would understand. That makes sense to me. I mean, everybody has gross sex fantasies. I mean, obviously, yours is with Holbrook. Mine is with Cyndi Lauper.
Really? Like present day?
Any time of day.
Oh, it's an interesting choice.
Brad said to me that he and Haley were fine. And that they were
Brad said to me, he and Haley were fine.
just really excellent roommates.
We're just really excellent roommates. So that's the quiet quitting turning into divorce.
That's not what we are, is it?
No.
This is a pretty healthy relationship, you guys, because I'm seeing a lot of strengths, and I hope that you saw the strengths as well in terms of the bids for humor, the tenderness, the fact that they are talking about this, clearly in that dip, but that they are working toward getting to the other side. So good job. And my husband and I have been there. Even though we're licensed professionals, we made the exact mistake that I'm talking to you about. And I'm so grateful that we made it to the other side. Right now, my kids are 17 and 20, and I promise you it gets easier. And so if you can make it through that part of the hero's journey, then you come home, which is the highest level of relationship satisfaction, by the way. The highest level of relationship satisfaction is not the beginning, it's the other side when you successfully make it. Because if you make it there, right, you'll get that warm, fuzzy feeling back with your partner. The butterflies will come back for most couples. No one is the enemy here. You're both working harder than you ever have in your entire life, and it is going to get easier, but not for a while. So you can't just wait for time to pass, and then that's no fun. So the only way to get there is to give up the search for fairness. And then you'll probably find that it's way easier to model the kind of kindness that you want to model for your kids. I had to do exactly the same thing when my kids were little. I teach communication skills all day, and so does my partner. It doesn't matter. It's not having the skills, because before I had really surrendered, really let go of the competition, competition. I was using the tools, but I was using them like in words only. My heart wasn't in it. I was annoyed a lot of the time. And I may have been successfully hiding it from a lot of people, but I'll tell you who I wasn't hiding it from, and that's my kids. They absolutely know this. Because those little buggers, they're intuitive. I assure you, you'll be happier after the surrender. Your co-parent is going to start to look a little cuter again when you stop looking at them like they're your adversary. You'll be able to express authentic fondness because you'll finally also see how they are working too. So that's it for today. And if you find it helpful, please click the thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next video.